Classic WoW. Live blog of the Classic WoW dev team AMA on Classic WoW. Okay, here we go. What is the intended player cap for dungeons in Classic WoW? Hi. Thanks for this question. This is indeed a bug that we have fixed, and you should be able to enter most lower level dungeons with up to 10 players, as was possible in the original WoW 1.12. There are some dungeons that had specific caps by the end of the original WoW, however. To be specific... Wow, do you guys know that this is happening? This is a Blizzard-partnered fucking website, and I'm getting redirect ads telling me that I have a virus. And people that say that I should use ad block. Or, oh, I'm sure they'll say that I should use premium. Let me go back over and we'll get this done. There are specific dungeons that have specific caps at the end of the original WoW, however. To be specific, all lower-level dungeons available through Maraudon should have a player cap of 10, with Blackrock Depths, Skullomon, Stratholme, and Dire Maul being capped at 5 players. As was the case in original WoW 1.12, Blackrock Spire should have a cap of 10 players, UBRS. Everybody basically expected UBRS to be a 10-player raid. For me personally, I don't really have a problem with this. I think this is obviously the correct answer and the correct solution to have. I agree with this entirely, and I think that the distinction that they're making with these higher-level dungeons versus the lower-level dungeons is actually a very good idea, and I'm very happy about this. And, yeah, that's pretty much it. Okay, all right, anyway. Layering and population. Phase 2 overpopulation. What are plans of Phase 2, for Phase 2 if some realms are horrifically overpopulated at 50k plus players? Will layering stay? We are absolutely committed to reaching 1 layer per realm by Phase 2. This is why we need to have upper bounds on the number of players connected to the realm at one time, and a queue players past that point. That, of course, is why we're willing to open new servers if necessary. And we're even started doing that in response to the incredibly positive reception that we have had during the name reservation period. So this, after Phase 2, I'm going to have to delete the emote. There will be no more invite to Asmon Lair. That's it. There's not going to be any more Asmon layers. It's going to be over. I'm really kind of sad about this. This is what I've been waiting for, man. And now fucking, we can't even have that anymore. That's so sad. I guess that's the way it goes, though. It's too fucking bad. Let me look at the rest of these, okay? Will you offer free realm transfers if servers get way overpopulated after launch? This is definitely one of the options we are considering, but for now we're encouraging players to use the name reservation period to transfer to characters to lower population realms. This is another obvious fucking thing that they were going to do. Everybody knew this was going to happen. This is what they did in Classic WoW, in Vanilla WoW. And this is obviously, like, these things like this. This is the experience. This is what it is. Hashtag, okay. We are gonna, alright, this is one we already answered here. Hunter traps. Spell batching seems to be causing problems with AoE abilities, such as people being able to run over Hunter's traps and it not going off, or running through Mage's Blizzard spell and not getting hit or slowed by it, and many more AoE abilities. This is actually a good thing that they've done. I really like this. Are there any thoughts about lowering the spell batching delay or another way to fix these issues? This is actually not related to spell batching. Traps and AoE abilities check for the presence of targets during the heartbeat update. If the target moves through them during the 2 heartbeat updates, they will not notice the target. This is how it was in the original 1.2. That's some wizard shit. What the fuck? That's some actual wizard shit. God damn. Okay, what the fuck? Alright, that's good, I guess. Alright. So they're not going to fix it? No, well, because fixing it would be a change. So these are like, okay, let me give you guys a couple of examples of things that I'm kind of talking about with this example, right? There are a lot of changes that happen in the game, or things that they do in the game that are obviously not true to the game. And so, bugs in the game, in Vanilla WoW. Should they recreate those bugs like spell batching? Or should they try to create the game in the way that it should have been? And this is a matter of perspective. Which perspective do you believe is no changes? Is no changes the intended design or the actual design? And it's like, do you want to have it in the way that it should have been or the way that it actually was? And each one of these is, it's a different thing. I think that it should probably be a mixture. Some things like spell batching should be implemented into the game because they make the vanilla WoW experience what it is. And it's part of the game and the way the game worked. And something else, like, well, wait a minute, and it'll be fun regardless? Well, yeah, I know it will be fun regardless. I think people are getting very, very granular and, you know, super specific with this kind of stuff, but you're right. You're describing exactly what OSRS is. Yeah, I know. Question markings, you guys retarded? Yeah, I don't know. I guess they are. But the point that I'm making here is that, yeah, spell batching is supposed to simulate the vanilla WoW experience. Even though if they brought out the game again now, obviously it wouldn't be the same. It's the same with the leeway thing. These are things that are like, what is more important? Simulating the actual experience or the actual experience, or like simulating the intended experience or simulating the actual experience. And I think it just depends on which thing you're talking about. Anyway, let's go ahead and look at the rest of these. Okay, on Onyxia, on certain private servers, unsure how this worked back in the day, you would only get locked to Onyxia ID if you were inside the instance when she died. This meant 30 people could hearth out whenever she was at 5%, and the loot would only have to be split between the remaining 10 people. Well, that's a good idea, dude. I should have played on private servers. Obviously, the devs, this is another huge surprise, another common sense and obvious thing like this. Is a very, very easy thing here. Here's the thing. This makes perfect sense. This is not possible in Classic. All players who are in the instance when Onyxia is engaged will be locked. Duh. Fucking duh. And I don't know really what else would be there. Like, obviously that's going to be the case. I don't know what else it would even be. Obviously, bald. Well, no, not bald, okay? But the point is that, yes, Onyxia, I mean, come on. This is an obvious answer. Everybody knew Blizzard wasn't going to let this happen. Will Manrik's wife be moved to recreate North? Oh, this is the same stupid question that I got yesterday on my stream. Oh, come on. What? All right. So in order to make the vanilla experience authentic, you're going to change it so that it's not authentic. No changes. Like, fucking duh. Like, how... Like, I'm gonna +1 this one. This is so fucking stupid. This is so fucking... So the only... Hey, look at this. This is actually a really, really simple thing. They can only aim to reproduce the game as it was. Reproducing the experience as it was is an impossible goal with unclear requirements. Boom. See, this guy, his name's Galaga. This is a 35-year-old boomer. Okay? You know what Galaga is? It's a fucking arcade game from the 80s or the 70s. Alright, this guy's been playing video games since before we were fucking born. He just knows what it is. He's been through the ringer. He knows what the fuck's going on. Obviously. Obviously. Let's go with the rest of the 35-year-olds aren't boomers. Listen, if you're over 27 right now, you're a boomer. Like, alright. But there are a few exceptions. If you use the word yeet in your vocabulary, you're still not a boomer. If you use... What are some of the other ones? So wrong? No, I'm not wrong at all. Let's see. I'm millennial. No, millennials are... No. That's a millennial? No, I'm not talking about... I'm defining it myself. I'm redefining it right now. Lit? Okay, lit. Dope? No, dope is... Dope, that's an old term. People use dope. Lit. Alright. Yeet. Lit. Let's see. YOLO. Like, the people that were saying YOLO 6 years ago are boomers now. That's fine. You know, they're like, YOLO, I'm gonna have a kid. And then, now YOLO, the kid's in fucking first grade. Gotta wake up at 6 fucking a.m. to take him to school. That dude's pissed. But, you know, hey, that's the way it goes. Alright, let's see the rest of I have some friends like that. Okay, let's go to the rest of these. System requirements. Will we see DirectX 12 in Classic and the multi-threaded utilization enhancements at some point? If not, is there a technical limitation? We are not planning to bring DirectX 12 and the multi-thread enhancements to the Classic client. The multi-threaded support greatly improves performance in large-scale environments like Suramar or Beralius. Classic's world and models are so much more simpler, and it would also increase the system requirements. So there's no reason to bring in DirectX 12 because the system and everything is much simpler. That makes sense. Pre-launch restarts. Next one. Will servers be brought down at some point before release, or will players be able to sit at the character select screen waiting for Interworld to activate? We are likely to perform some kind of realm restarts or maintenance between now and launch. However, the minutes leading up to the launch, our plan is that the realms will be up and available, and the Interworld button will instantly light up. That's actually, dude, I can't wait, man. That's good. I'm ready for that. Lighten up, dude. Damn, dude. It's lit. Okay, queue times. Can you elaborate in some way on the extended queue lengths, preferably length of time at launch? On most populated servers, such as Herod and Shazra, we're currently estimating lengthy queue times up to several hours or more. In certain instances, this is why we strongly encourage players to use the name reservation period to transfer characters and their guilds to lower population realms. Yeah, obviously that's a great thing, and people should do that. Everybody wants to play on Herod. I originally, Herod was a server that I kind of wanted to play on because I saw the name. I was like, oh, Herod, dude, fucking big dude, no shirt on, big helmet, you know? But, we ended up playing on Faralina, and, I guess she's like a girl or something, so, it is what it is. All right, let's go with the rest of these. Miscellaneous. Has the reception of Classic Meta exceeded expectations? There are far more people coming back for Classic than expected, or were you guys right within the predicted ballpark? We've been blown away by the response to WoW Classic. The passion from the community is exactly what got us working on this in the first place, and we see new signs of your passion and excitement every day. We're very excited to make it a reality for you all next week. Now, I don't... Someone who's 27 right now is born in the 90s? Yeah, that's why they're a boomer. I know, that's what I mean. So, you think you do, but yeah, you think you do, but you don't. Well, it turns out that we did. And thank God for that. This is what we've been waiting for years. For literally, how many years have we been waiting for this to happen? And we're here now. I am so fucking happy. I really am. Reason in chat, not Twitch culture. Yeah, I know, I don't get it. It's okay, man. They won't understand. They're probably boomers, too. They didn't even answer the last part. Let's see. Were you guys right about the predicted ballpark? Well, so basically, there are two questions being asked here. And they're answering community feedback. And this person is asking about actual, like quantitative numbers. Like how many people are playing Classic or reserving names on Classic compared to how many they expected to play on and reserve names in Classic. Here's my opinion. I think that it's probably more. I can't see a world where it's not. Now, why do I think that it's more? Because they're introducing new servers. Right? And I don't know, this could maybe not be true, though. I want to reiterate and go back on this real quick. Because they could have introduced servers and be very conservative with it, so they don't have dead servers at all at the beginning. Because imagine if they did the, They did the name reservations, and there were dead servers at name reservation. That would make the game look really bad. So they could have started with a conservative number, like maybe 10 or whatever they started with, and originally planned on having 20, and just kind of bring out more servers as the people wanted. So I think that it could go either way. I do really hope that obviously it's been going so well that, the game becomes as popular as possible. Hi, Agrend. Y'all doing such a great job. Thanks for all the hard work, bringing something so special back to us again, the way we remember it. That's right. Thanks, Katy Perry. We've got an awesome team here that is helping make all of this possible, and we couldn't have wished for a more detail-oriented and diligent community of beta testers and stress testers that have sent us thousands of in-depth reports to help us nail down and fix some of our most elusive bugs. It's very true. Let me go to the rest of these again, okay? One new EU PvP server. All right, let me go ahead and refresh this, and we'll see what the rest of these are. Okay. Let's see. What are your plans on server reset days for Classic? The raid reset points have been restored to their original 1.12 values. I like to hear that. Classic operates as part of our general World of Warcraft infrastructure. Our goals are to minimize server maintenance downtime and maximize availability. In some weeks, we may not need to even take realms down for maintenance. Wow. How many of you fucking dumbasses in here? Fake sick on Tuesday. Back in vanilla WoW. How many dumb fucking idiots? You know the best part? I was talking to one of my boys about this. I forgot who it was. One of the best part about this is I did it the first time. And I was like, damn, alright, I'm never gonna do this again. And then I did it again. And that second Tuesday that I was sitting home on the load-in screen, I felt like the dumbest fucking person in the whole world. Like, there has never been more of a... I've never felt stupider about anything in my life more than that. It was so fucking bad. I was so embarrassed. Alright, let's go with the next one here. Dungeons. Oh, phase loot. Okay. In phase 1, will the raid only drop items added to Molten Core before patch 1.3? In phase 2, will it only drop items added to Molten Core before 1.5? Or will it have the 1.12 vanilla Molten Core loot drop from the start? For me, some of the fun of clearing a dungeon is discovering the loot as you go, but for those who want more information, the drop tables are mostly 1.12. There is a significant exception to that, in Phase 5, when relics, which are relics? That's totems. What are relics? Druid, yes, Druid, holy shit. No, Paladins have Libram, Shamans have totems, DKs had sigils, and Druids had relics. Wait, Druids had idols. Wait. They're all in the... Relics are the item slot. It's been so many years. I really enjoy rediscovering all of these old things, I'll be honest. It's really kind of cool, yeah. It's been so long. There are so many... I've forgotten more things about the game than I know, and that's really cool. Though slot is a relic slot, yeah, I forgot all about that. When they were originally added in patch 1.10, they affected drop tables significantly enough to where enough that simply removing relics from a drop table until phase 5 wouldn't be sufficient. It would have had effects on the drop rates of other items that we didn't feel were acceptable or authentic. So for that specific change on item drops, we did reproduce the boss drop tables from a previous patch 1.9 before phase 5. The affected bosses have the 1.19 drop tables, and once phase 5 hits, they'll use the 1.10 drop tables. The change doesn't affect MC or Onyxia very heavily, so you should expect those drops to launch in a very similar state to where they were in at the end of vanilla, right? Their final phase 6 state. Again, I don't want to give it all away, so I'll leave a bit of the exploration and discovery here. Okay, that makes sense. Just give me 1 second here. Okay, where's the rest of these? Layering population caps. What exactly are the population caps or layers? We're not releasing specific numbers that will likely change dramatically. Based off the response we got from name reservations, we're anticipating large player populations for some realms initially. This may change as players switch to lower population realms. We'll use layers to help improve performance in the short term if large groups of players cluster in an area. We hope to reduce the use of layering over time as people spread out in each realm. So this actually is really, really good to see. Queue up with the role that I assigned you, okay, guys? Okay, let's see. So obviously they were never going to say how many people were going to be per layer, right? Because if they did that, then people would be like, oh, well, you said there was going to be 3,200 people, and if I look right now, there's 3,150, and I can't find everybody else. I've been counting every single person, and Blizzard's lying to me again. I can't believe it. This isn't not my classic. Hashtag not my classic. Hey, Alex was right. Alex was right. Alex was right. No, obviously we don't want to have that happen. Like, no, of course Blizzard's not going to do that. Of course Blizzard's not going to do that, okay? Like, they know the community. They know what's going on. They're not going to let it happen, all right? This is the last straw, 20 years later. This is the last straw. 20 years later, yeah. All right, let's look at the rest of this. Okay, how many people are here? Like, are we ready to go? Can we do this raid? I mean, like, come on, guys. Let me make sure everybody's queued up. Like, all right, just give me 1 second. I have to sort out this whole raid thing. People are a little bit confused. Please rewatch level 25 Druid versus level 17 Hunter. I can't watch that because he got banned. So, we're not going to be able to do that, man. I'm very, very sad to say. Trust me, it's a beautiful video, but unfortunately, we won't be able to watch it. Found your channel from random Asmongold React videos. Never played WoW, but your streams are great. Thank you very much, man. I appreciate that. Thank you, thank you. Okay, so layer population. All right, here's the next one. Onyxia, Manric's wife. Some changes. Will skeletons appear when someone dies to be the same as it was originally? Right now, they disappear after you die again. They used to stay longer than that. While we understand this is a flavorful part of original WoW and the earlier expansions, individual players leaving multiple player corpses skeletons throughout the game world can lead to behaviors such as spelling out advertisements, hate speech, and other negative messages. As such, this will not be part of WoW Classic. This is such a non-issue. I mean, here's the thing. Is that I understand what Blizzard is saying, and I think they make a really good point, but I wish there was a way for them to still have the skeletons in the game. I think that another example of this is I remember back, and this was like in Cataclysm. So remember whenever they made cross-realm zones, the first time they ever did cross-realm zones, and they did cross-realm zones, and every single place in the entire world turned into a PvP battleground, if you were on a PvP server. I remember zoning in. It was one of the coolest part. It was one of the coolest times ever in the game. The pre-patch was wild. It was one of the best. I had more fun in the Mists of Pandaria pre-patch than I probably did in all of Mists of Pandaria and all of Cataclysm. It was one of the most fun times ever for me. I enjoyed it so much. And like my mom and I would like go around in world PvP. It was just so fucking fun, man. I'll have to post some screenshots and stuff like that. Unburied Ancestors, they should add it to system settings so you can turn it on and off. That's a really good idea, but I don't know if they can do that, add it as a system setting, because they don't have the same phasing things like current players have, you know what I mean? So I don't really know if their current WoW has. So I'm not really sure if that would be possible, but if they could recreate that, that would be really, really cool. Corpses shouldn't affect the game. Well, I don't know. I mean, like, in a way, yes, and in a way, no. I agree and I disagree. So I do think that it's a very, very stupid situation, and I do think in raids, they probably should make the corpses despawn regularly. But in an open world environment, I do like the idea of having a bunch of corpses around to signify that there was a very big battle that happened. It makes the world feel like it's more alive, and it makes it feel like you're actually part of a living, breathing Azeroth rather than just a game. And, you know, the different events on the server have an impact on the way the different zones are. So it's a good thing and a bad thing. And so I understand what you're saying. I agree in some ways, but I disagree in others. Okay, so yeah, the corpses is just a huge disappointment. Like, let me see if I can find a video. Mop, pre-patch, world PvP, Cataclysm. Let me see if I can find like a really, really big one, okay? Mop, pre-patch. Shit. I'm not seeing any of these. Fuck. I can't show you a good clip of this, unfortunately. There's just a bunch of random-ass dumb bullshit. But it's unfortunate. That's the way it goes. You're truly disappointed about corpses. Really? Well, yeah, I'm disappointed. Yeah, I am disappointed. Like, is this like, oh, I'm not gonna play the game? No. It's just disappointing that I didn't get to have one of the cool things that I thought was in the game. Like that's all. Like yeah, I'm disappointed. Like I'm not boycotting Classic over it. I just wish they would have had it. That's all. Okay, let me go to the rest of these. All right, next one. Google images Undasta corpses. Okay, that's actually a really good idea. There it is. There it is, right there. That's what it used to look like, boys. And I hate to say it, but I I really, really think that kind of stuff is cool. I thought it was amazing. I was there. Yeah, it was awesome. And obviously, like, these things are not, like, this is not something that's going to change the game or anything like that. But it's just one of those cool, flavorful things that I thought made the game more dynamic. That's all. What about Corrupted Blood incident with skeletons everywhere? I'm sure that was the same thing. I was actually fucking there. Well, I actually was fucking there. I was actually the raid leader for this raid. Not this raid specifically, but one of these raids exactly like this. We had 300 people in, like, our vent server or mumble server, whatever the fuck it was. And whenever we were doing that, it was like a really, really big server. And I was raid leading, like, multiple, like 80, 120 people. I felt like the biggest fucking boss ever. My friend was streaming it. We had, like, 300 viewers, which was like, whoa, wow. That was insane. Like, it was one of the best fucking days ever. It was my friend Sheep. The same guy, actually, the same guy that streamed it was, the guy that made the Asmon Rage video. Like, where is it? There, this one right here, Sheep's Gaming. So, this is whenever it was, like, late at night, and we were right about to get done with the last, we had just done Storm Stout Brewery, and the last boss had, like, these little ads that would channel a heal onto the boss, and people were standing on, they weren't standing in front of the heal to absorb it.
Fucking simple. Like, how do you guys not do that? Like,
I'm on my DK right there.
Out, like, figure it out. Like, Beep was the only person that moved into one that would have fucking wiped us.
He just pretends to get mad for stream. He's not actually mad. 2013. 2013, I was getting mad. I was getting mad 2013. You
guys not do that. Like, I have to call everything out. Like, figure it out. Like, Beep was the only person that moved into one that would have fucking wiped us. Fucking.
Hey, dude, I was mad. What can I say? I was fucking pissed. Think about, yeah. Okay, let's go to the rest of this. Probably, event clip about the GM. I don't know about that, okay? Okay, let's see here. Where is these guys? Alright, let's start this up, and then we'll be good to go. Pretty sure you started being mad at birth. No, well, the point is that I don't really play things up. I mean, a little bit, yeah, obviously everybody plays things up a little bit for the stream. But for me, not a whole lot. I mean, a lot of times I actually play things down. Like, I play things down, that's how bad it is. Bring back the old Asmon. Like, knocking cups around and shit? Maybe I will. Okay, let's see here. Why isn't McConnell in that raid? I don't think we could even cross realm back then, could we? I don't even fucking remember. Anyway, let me go ahead and look at the rest of these questions, okay? Q times emergency realms. We have contingency plans to bring up additional realms quickly if needed. We also integrate character transfers, as ultimately became a service in original WoW. As you can imagine, it's difficult for us to gauge how many people will come to play Classic and stay on to experience max level content. Ultimately, we want to see realms with healthy, stable populations, so we'll try to match demand without inadvertently creating low population realms in the process. That's a great idea, Blizzard. That is a great idea, Blizzard. Good idea, Blizzard. That's a good idea. Great idea, Blizzard. Now, you know what would be an even better idea? If they took this same logic and they applied it to the current game. Can you guys imagine that? Can you imagine if they took this exact same logic and they put it in the current game? The same way that they should? We'll use Ventrilo or TeamSpeak. I'm sorry to say, but we're going to be using Discord. Yeah, we're going to use Discord, guys. Sorry to say. More concerned about their login servers? Yeah, I can see why. I don't know how that's going to turn out. We'll have to find out. No changes? Yeah, we're gonna be using Discord, I'm sorry to say. And I'm also gonna be playing it on my actually, you know what? I could legitimately get just a second. Let me get my old computer. So I'll go ahead. You want me to show you my original WoW vanilla WoW computer? I have it right here next to me. There it is. It still has the headphone jack on it. The different HP stuff right here. And let's see, can I look at the specs for this? Okay, let me look at the specs. I'll show you guys what it is. CPU, Intel Pentium 2, 1.2 gigahertz, dual core, 1 gigabyte of RAM. Oh, man. Wow, dude, I'm going so fast. Dude, I'll be able to run anything, man. Okay, let's look at the rest of this. Dungeon cap and players, honor calculations. How does that work with honor calculations? They were always done in the downtime. Oh, this was whenever there was no reset. When restoring the honor calculation code, we rewrote it so it can work while the game is live. Realms do not need downtime for honor to update. Wow. Great. That's a good thing. I mean, there's not a whole lot I have to say about that, but that's a good thing, and I'm glad they're doing it. I mean, fuck yeah. Awesome. Great. I'm happy. All right, next. Guard spawns. Did guard spawns really work the same way in vanilla as they do now in retail? I'm honestly not sure. We've looked at that specific case. Thanks for all the detailed description. We'll take a look and we'll make sure we get it right. I don't know what the fuck that is. I have no care. I don't care about that at all. Will there be a debuff priority system in place to ensure important debuffs stay on targets and aren't overwritten by things like deep wounds? There is a debuff priority system in vanilla, and we replicated it. The issue with range on arcane missiles was fixed in 1.12, and we've kept that fix. Thank fucking God. Thank God they've done that. You know, I was really worried about the dozen arcane mages that still think the spec is going to work. So I'm really glad that Blizzard actually sorted that out. Yeah, that's amazing. Top 4 best classes in Classic. Fury Warriors, Arms Warriors, Prot Warriors, and Rogues. Yeah, I'd say those. Yeah, those exactly. Okay, next one. Transferring gold. What is the stance on people trading gold from Classic realms for gold on BFA realms and vice versa? There is no direct means for characters in BFA to transfer gold to characters in WoW Classic. This would be a highly disruptive thing for Classic, as the economies of the two games are very different. Gold exchange between players in WoW is subject to our terms of service. Purchasing gold from third parties could lead to suspension or banning of accounts. They didn't answer the question. Yeah, they didn't answer the question. Because the question was about, can people trade gold from Classic to BFA? There's no direct means. This would be highly disruptive to the game. So, it means it's safe. They said no. Where in here did they say no? That means no? No. There are a lot of things that are... There are a lot of no means no. They did not say no. The third word. There is no direct means for characters in BFA to transfer gold to characters in WoW Classic. Yes, there is. You get on Discord and you say, trade me 1,000,000 gold in Classic in BFA for 10,000 gold in Classic WoW. And then the person does the trade. That is it doesn't matter if there's indirect or direct means. So, and this second sentence, this would be highly disruptive for Classic, as the economies of the two games are very different. This is referring to, if you look at the way that the sentences are structured, this is referring to there being a direct means for characters to transfer gold from characters in BFA to WoW Classic. Let's see. Come on, man. There's no direct way. Yeah. Gold exchange between players in WoW is subject to our terms of service. Purchase of gold from third parties could lead to suspension or banning of accounts. How do you define purchase? Is like purchase meaning buying it with money, real money, or buying it with other gold? Because people did this in Diablo all the time. Don't understand. There are no direct means. Doesn't mean you can't do it through TOS. Yeah, I mean, semantics move on. Well, semantics is everything. Like that's the whole thing, because this TOS is written in a way. The TOS is written in a way that what they say matters. And in my opinion, right? In my opinion, if I read this, they did not explicitly say that you're not able to trade gold from Classic realms for gold on BFA realms. They didn't say that. Now, they might have maybe implied that, but they did not say that. Yeah, they did not say that. Like, if you think they said that, I'm pretty sure probably the same people that thought that Taliesin said I was a white supremacist, right? The same people probably. And if English is not your first language, I understand, okay? Like, I don't speak any other languages. I get it. right? But in the English language, this does not imply that it's not okay. Maybe it implies it, but it doesn't actually state it clearly. And all I'm saying is that I think what they should do, if it's against the rules, they should clearly state trading gold from BFA is against the rules. Trading gold in BFA for gold on Classic is against the rules. That's it. What's in your weekly box? Yeah, we're getting this done. Okay. It means no. No, it means TOS. Depends on if it was in a TOS. What? Dude, that is not the question. I'm literally reading it. What do you got? What? What do you mean it's not the question? They referred to the TOS. That's the answer. When did they say anything about the TOS? Oh, right there. Wow. Okay, gold exchange between players is subject to our terms of service. Well, let me see what the terms of service... I see it now. WoW TOS. Let me see if I can pull this up. WoW TOS rules. Okay, Blizzard end user license agreement. Alright, just give me a second. I'll just search gold. Gold, okay, this is not it. Where is the TOS? Let's see here. Fuck. Okay, I'm not seeing it anywhere. That's against TOS? Yeah, I can't see it. Okay, move over to WoW TOS. You know, gold. I'm just trying to see it. EULA. Cheats, hacks, prohibited content, esports. Yeah, I can't figure this out right now on stream. Well, I'll try EULA. EULA. There's no directly linked gold. You can trade between games. No, that's not what they said. That is against TOS. It's not the... Like... Jesus Christ. Okay. Look up WoW TOS. Actually, yeah, WoW EULA. Okay, where's the World of Warcraft terms of use? Okay, here we go. I can find it right here. So we'll see what Blizzard says. Okay, here we go. This is the same thing. Oh, wait, no, this one is different. Okay, gold. Where would I search for it at? I'm trying to see. Okay, give me 1 minute here. Currency. Okay, currency is a good idea. Okay. Let's see here. Let me just go over here real quick and we'll get this done. Alrighty. Prohibited uses exploit in its entirely or individual components of platform for any purpose not expressly authorized by Blizzard, including without limitation playing the games for commercial establishments, gathering in-game currency as a resource for sale outside the platform or games, performing in-game services, including without limitation account boosting, power leveling in exchange for payment. So, can see? No, you're looking at it. Let me see. What's the rest of these? Currency. Begin Blizzard balance, various currencies, currency. All virtual content appearing within the platform, including Blizzard games such as items, virtual goods, currency. Okay. So here's the thing. This seems unclear to me. And to me, I have a very, I'm going to be honest, I have a very, very hard time understanding things because I always try to think and figure out, you know, kind of loopholes and shit. And it's very hard for me to understand things unless they're very, very plainly stated. Because I always read between the lines and I try to look for exceptions and stuff like that. And so here's basically the way I look at it, right? I don't think they answered the question at all. There's no direct means. Well, you're right about that. But, let's see. They never have two versions of the same game. It's probably within the TOS. They should be clear. Yeah, they should be more clear about this. Because from my perspective here, what do I think that they will do? Now, if I remember right in Diablo, this is another example. In Diablo, you were not able to trade WoW gold for Diablo gold. That's basically it. Just buy a joke off eBay? Yeah, I don't know. There are no exceptions here? Well, no. I mean, like, what I'm saying is, like, it's not about there being no exceptions or anything like that. Did you blue screen? No, I didn't. They misunderstood the question. They thought it was about legit having BFA gold transfer to Classic and not the whole... Oh, well, yeah. I think that you're right. No, SSTS is right. I think that what they actually expected what people meant here is, would there be a way for players to do this? And obviously there is a way. It's a third-party way, or it's a peer-to-peer way, but it's not facilitated by the game. And my question is the peer-to-peer, one person trading gold and BFA for gold and Classic, is that explicitly against the TOS? And is that going to be punishable? That's the question that I have. Okay? That's basically what it is. Okay, let me see here. Alright, we'll go to the next one. Could you specify a little bit how you'll handle quests like Thorium Point, Silithus, Gentle Ores, or that are later phases quests? What will be available from the beginning of phase 1 and what will come later? Thanks for the question. We wanted there to be some exploration and discovery to this, so I can't dig super deep into the exact specifics around when the individual quests, items, or rep items will be available. Painting at broad strokes, however, Thorium Point and Gentle Ore quests should be available during phase 1. Most quests in Cenarian Hold will be available during phase 5 because that makes sense because it's the AQ opening gate event. The general methodology was to make quests, recipes, items, and the like available when it makes sense to do so and feels relevant to the rest of the available in-game content. That's basically what it is. So, it's like 1,000 people care about retail. Well, no, here's the point, right? Is like this, I think this makes sense. Alright, we're good. Okay, give me 1 minute here. Okay, do you think they should have Classic exactly the same as before? Yeah, of course. Okay, yeah, I'm looking at this question right here. They are related. Imagine a drop table that has 2 items that each have a 50% chance to drop. If you restrict it so one of those can't drop, the other one just became a 100% chance to drop. Or you have a 50% chance to drop nothing. That's right. There are various items throughout the game that were added later, and which were restricted to later phases, but we took a careful look at any item and we decided to restrict them to make sure they didn't affect the drop rates of other items too much. If it did, we went back and pulled an earlier version of the drop table so they would have an appropriate item loot distribution, and the biggest of these changes was in phase 5. That said, none of those drop table changes occur within phase 1 and 2. They're all in later phases. So yes, bindings can drop in phase 1. Good luck getting both of them. I'm still missing one. Okay. Alright, that sounds good. That makes sense. That's okay, good. Items added in later phases. It seems like a contradiction. ENS Ghost tweeted a while back to say that the items in 1.14, items like Obsidian Edge Blade would be introduced in phase 2. Yes, items like Obsidian Edge Blade will be in during phase 1. This is due to related discussion to not bring back the original item sets, because it would have felt really weird if an item stats changed while you were wearing it. Week 2 Thunder Fury? Yeah, I'm gonna get the first bind. Actually, no, I'll get week 1 Thunder Fury. I'll get both bindings in the same week. Okay, so we think it would feel weird to drop tier 2 items with their 1.12 stats in Molten Core, except the tier 2 pants and Ragnaros, of course. Yeah, I guess that would make sense. So here's basically the way I'll look at this one. They do this all the time in current WoW. They do this constantly in current WoW. Legendary necklace, though. Yeah, look at the legendary neck. I mean, they change that every day. Look at the Azurite gear every day. If that feels weird, then why do you guys do that with retail, like, on a monthly basis? I don't understand. Need to be able to get element and bar. Yeah, I know. You need 10 of them, I think. But point is the same. You know, I don't know. Like, this is fine, right? I mean, obviously this makes sense. Having these items drop or whatever, I think that's fine. Catch-up gear. You're releasing catch-up gear released in 1.10 at the same time as the original pre-Dire Maul loot tables. The actual catch-up gear added in 1.10 won't be available until Phase 5. The MC tables weren't affected by very much by the 1.10 the changes. Almost all of their loot was the same from 1.5 to 1.12. So the changes you see to MC throughout our content unlocks will be very minor. Okay, so let's see. Will Talisman a Binding Shard drop for the first kill in MC? I wish, but I don't think so. Yeah, I really don't think so at all. I think that would be really cool if they did that, though. Just give me a second. Can you say it again without starting a fight? Okay. Alright, just a second. Okay. All right. It's very hard for me to read, and it makes me, like, a little bit more uncomfortable whenever I continue fucking up, and people make fun of me for it, I'll be honest. Let's see. Asmongold, Gmod, we'll do it again while we finish the rest of these questions. Okay. Let's go. Yeah, we're just doing sub-bone. All right. Layering a population. What about after... Okay, here we go. What about after Phase 6? We've done most of the hard work by bringing back 1.12, so progressing to the Burning Crusade would be a lot easier for us. Wow. Okay. That's great. So this makes perfect sense, I think. Yeah, of course this makes sense. Let's see. I'm going to go ahead and just invite the rest of these people in here and get this done. Yeah, as I said, I just don't want to deal with it. Okay, I need one more tank. One more tank and one more healer. And then we'll be good to do the next run. Let's get this done. Okay. Okay. So, our plan is to identify everything we need to do should we ever decide to go this route. We want to be sensitive to the desires of our players. Some may want BC, and some may not. We'll be following the Classic community closely to help determine what our next steps should be. Wow. Okay. So this actually sounds like... It sounds like 1.13 is on the table. Holy shit. Alright, layering a population. Clearing up misconceptions. I think there's generally some misunderstanding within the community on how and why layering technique works in Classic. Okay, so this is an actual answer of the way that layering works. Okay, fine. I'm so glad you asked this question. We've seen some confusion about layering, both about how it works both about how it helps support our launch and how it's supposed to behave while it's active. So we'd like to both speak on it and clear up some misconceptions about it. First, we're absolutely committed to reducing the 1 layer per realm before our second content phase goes live. And the sooner we can get there, the better. The reason we can't do that initially is on launch day, everybody will be clustered in the starting zones, and having players so close together causes an exponential drain on server resources. In fact, the same number of players will cause more server problems crammed into Northshire than they do spread across all of Elwyn Forest. We expect that even after the first couple of days, we'll need a fewer layers than we need for the initial hours of launch, and our stress tests have confirmed that expectation. So, what this basically means here is that they are going to be clearing up the entire layering thing a lot sooner than Phase 2, which is something that I'm very glad to hear. Now, a lot of people kind of expected layering to just be like a default until Phase 2. This post seems to imply... it states, basically, that what they're going to do is in Phase 1, they're probably going to just remove layers as needed, which is going to make the game better, I would say. And so I'm glad about doing that. They're going to do it dynamically, and that means they're actually paying attention here. Herod layering may last a long time. I don't know about that. Layering lasting a long time, I have no idea. Okay, just give me 1 second here. Alright, we'll look at the rest of these. A related concern that was raised during our pre-launch test is that capital cities felt empty, but that only occurred because we left the pre-launch test running 2 days past its original end date, and we didn't reduce the number of the layers, at all during the test. During our launch week, the players spread out across the world will monitor actively and reduce layers as necessary so the world continues to feel full. Okay, there we fucking go. Again, another obvious fucking answer that they're giving. And here's the best part about the classic devs. It seems like they have common sense. Really, it just seems like they have common sense. And it's like, all of the times, like whenever they make these changes in the game, it seems like the obvious decision. It is the obvious decision for them to make. And I'm so glad to see that. This is fucking amazing. Unlike BFA. Yeah, with BFA, there's all these weird analogies and, oh, well, there's this one system that was in the game this long time ago, and so, we don't want to change that because there's this one, thing that's grandfathered into the game and it'll confuse players, etc. Wow, it killed me. I didn't think it'd kill me. Oh well, who cares? Alright, fundamentally understand their player... Yes, they fundamentally understand their player base. And that's all we've been waiting for. That's what everybody has been waiting for. They fundamentally understand the player base. And that is amazing to fucking see. I'm so happy for that. Okay, let's go to the rest of these. Classic community is much more focused on what they want compared to retail is why. Well, that's true too. But I think even inside the classic community, there are a lot of people who want different things. Some players have suggested using sharding in low-level zones to address additional launch demand. Both because we talked about that in BlizzCon and because it's what they're used to from our modern expansions. Unfortunately, while modern WoW has content designed to work with sharding, WoW Classic does not. The most obvious example of incompatible content is Rexar's famously long patrol path, and there are lots of other examples throughout WoW Classic. Since we want all that content to work as it was originally designed, we've made sure that every layer is a copy of the entire world. So you can kite Anachronos all the way to Orgrimmar, and you can ride the boat from Ratchet to Booty Bay with the same people alongside you the whole way. So this confirms my assumption that layering was actually just going to be basically shards for the entire server. Like, this is exactly what it was going to be, yeah. Shards for the entire server, and that's exactly what we want, right? Classic devs know us. Yes, they do. I'm very glad about that, too. Okay, yeah, this is great. Some players have asked us to use realm caps and login queues to handle the demand, and while those are tools that we have at our disposal, we don't want to rely on them exclusively because they can't keep people from playing, because they keep people from playing the game. Oh, for like queues. Okay, so this, yeah, big surprise, they don't want to use queues. Nobody likes sitting in a realm queue. Warlords of Draenor, whenever it came out, had the most ridiculous realm queues of any expansion that I'd ever seen. And because of that, a lot of people that I knew stopped playing the game because they had set aside, they had maybe like gone like 3 days of vacation time for WoD. And, you know, that way they'd be able to complete all the content in the expansion. And as soon as that was over, right, then the servers were down the whole time. They're sitting around at home waiting for the servers to come up. They get like 45 minutes to play the game before they have to go to bed the next day. It just sucks. So obviously they're not going to want to do that. And so I'm glad that Blizzard is keeping that in mind. They're not going to let that happen again. That's a very, very good thing. Let's go to the rest of these. Okay, let's scroll all the way up here. Okay, me with Diablo 3. Yeah, I took off 2 years to play Diablo 3. And then I took off 2 years before that to play WoW. Alright, where's the rest of these? One of the most frequently reported problems during our tests was that players transferring to a layer for what seemed like no reason. There are several bugs that caused this, and we're confident that we fixed them. See what happens. At this point, the only thing that should cause you to change layers is accepting an invite from one player on another layer. Additionally, it should always transfer the player who was invited to the layer of the player who invited them, which means that you can be invited to Asmon layer. You can be invited to Asmon layer. Thank God. Thank God. WoW Classic is saved. Okay. WoW Classic is very, very clearly saved. Amazing. Nonetheless, after accepting an invite, the layer transfer doesn't always happen immediately because we don't want you to transfer in the middle of combat or before you get a chance to loot. During our pre-launch test, we saw a few reports of what seemed like random player layer transfers, but whenever we investigated, we realized this was due to us making that transfer delay take too long. The delay was so long that players could unintentionally chain one delay into another by starting combat immediately after looting. Because of those reports, we fixed the transfer delay to give you enough time to loot without it being so long that you're left wondering why you can't join your friend. We'll keep an eye on that, and we may decide to reduce it even further. We've also seen reports of players transferring suddenly at the entrances of capital cities, which is related to the transfer delays. If you're waiting to transfer to your friend's lair, and you enter a capital city, we ignore the delay and transfer you immediately. The long delays were for making it more likely that you'd enter a capital with a transfer pending, and now that we've reduced the character transfer delay, it will be a bit more clear that your transfer was the result of accepting a group invitation. So basically what they're saying here is that they're allowing it to where it's like the layer transfers are faster. And that way people don't get confused and think it's a bug. That's good. I mean, obviously, I think there should be some sort of a delay on layer transferring. And that way people don't just do like some weird shit by like going back and forth between layers. But the truth is that things like that aren't really very important. Like, whenever the Classic Beta came out, people, it felt like they really thought that there was going to be this huge amount of people that are just abusing, and there's going to be infinite Black Lotuses on the auction house, and there's no way for, everybody's going to make you know, free flasks and, you know, the top players are going to be rich and have 1,000,000 gold and everybody else is going to be poor. They're retards. Those people were retards. Of course that wasn't going to happen. That being said, obviously they do want to reduce it so people don't try to abuse things like that. I don't think this is a problem that they really need to fix, but if it's something that would make the game better, then obviously they should do it. Invite the sub layer. Yeah, dude, there you go. But yeah, that's the way that I see. People start selling party invites to your layer on eBay. Look. I mean, holy shit. Yeah, yeah, invite the sub layer. I guess so. Okay, let's go with the rest of these. All right, we've seen reports of people transferring suddenly to instances of capital. Okay, I read that one there. Regarding PvP, we saw many posts from players wondering if getting invited to a party is a good way to escape from PvP combat. I'm pleased to say there's a largely separate, longer transfer delay following any PvP combat. We know that a lot of World PvP enthusiasts are excited for WoW Classic, and we don't want the additional layers to feel like they're robbing you of your kills. When the time comes to withdraw from a fight, you have to escape your enemies and get to a safe place before you're able to join your friends in another layer. So this, what you can do here, right, I mean, this is obviously combat-based. So after you leave PvP combat, a timer starts. The only thing you need to do basically is die, just get invited by your friend, and then wait till you get phased over, and then just resurrect, right? I mean, that's really it. Because I'm pretty sure the timer's not going to happen based off of if your character's alive or not. If it does do that, then obviously it would be different. Yeah, it's basically it. Timer kill one? Yeah, exactly. Got tired to those people watch us talk random smack. Well, yeah, I mean, like, the truth is, like, I've lost so many of my teeth, it's basically caused me to develop a speech impediment. And whenever I see people constantly, like, you know, drawing attention to it every single time I misspeak, it makes me misspeak more. So I just want to make sure that things are the, you know, it's as good of an experience as possible. Let me finish the rest of this, okay? We'd also like to clarify how multiple layers work with logout. Early in our stress testing, players reported that logging out in backend would let you hop to a new layer to farm the same mineral or herb node on different layers. That was a bug, and we fixed it. Your layer assignment now persists for a few minutes between logouts, long enough but that by the time that the game would choose a new layer for you, that node would have respawned on its own anyway. I hope that makes things a bit more clear. So layers persist through logout. That's good. That's great. Okay. As a bride, didn't think I probably gifted a sub the other day. Well, thank you, man. Thank you very much for saying that. I appreciate it. It's my pleasure. I got them out, so I had to do it. A lot of people are wanting them to raise the number of resources needed for AQ war effort to match the population of the server. Thought? Oh, that is actually a really good point. Phase 2 overpopulation. Okay, we read that one. Layering caps, paid character transfer. Will paid character transfers also be a thing should a server drop heavily in population and a player wishes to move to a more activity or reconvene with friends on another server? We are considering integrating a character transfer service once players have reached higher levels. This was available in the original WoW. We'll look at the rules imposed at that time and also discuss the implications of players moving to different realms. We believe realm identity is an important aspect of Classic, so any guidelines around transfers should support this belief. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, Jesus Christ. Character boosts are not in keeping with Classic. We don't want to break any hearts. Fucking duh. Fucking duh. Like, I mean, what else even, what is there even to say? I mean, everybody knew this. Everybody fucking knew this. Anybody who genuinely thought, well, we're gonna well, what if you have the Cadbury Blizzard? I just want money and they're just gonna do a character. No. This was never going to happen. Anybody who genuinely thought that they were going to have character boosts in Classic WoW, I hope they don't play the game. Because I don't want to have to unintentionally be involved with someone who's that fucking stupid. No. You'd think that people like that wouldn't even be able to operate a computer. Are there any other character services? Will there be paid services for Classic? We aren't considering any other services. We aren't considering other services beyond character transfer at this time. There it is. There it is. It's right there. The same fucking thing that everybody said. I was going to Gmod. I'm doing another run. I'm addicted, guys. I am addicted. And also, I figure we might as well do something while I read the rest of these. Yeah, at this time. That's true. They did say at this time. I don't know about that. Like... Okay, you know what? They'll make you pay. I don't think they're going to do anything bad. I really don't. I know that a lot of people, they want to always believe that shit's going to happen. I really don't think that it will. I think Blizzard is going to do the right thing. They're going to not have character transfers ever. And the people that think that's going to happen, I guess those people will have to be disappointed. I think it's going to be completely fine. It won't cause any issues, and I don't worry about it at all. That's the way that I see it, okay, guys? So let's not concern ourselves with that kind of bullshit, and we'll just assume that everything is going to be just fine. Is that something that we can agree on? Like, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. I think that the WoW community has made it very clear that they don't want paid character services in Classic WoW. They don't want it. Everybody doesn't want it. Generally believe they put it that way just in case they can ever change something. Yeah, I think so. That's probably true. Like, I mean, that's the same way I do, right? Oh, well, maybe, or I might, or something like that, right? And I never actually commit to something because I don't want to be tied down to some sort of commitment or something like that. So I think that's definitely true. They're doing transfers. Well, they might. Level 60 boost after Phase 5 confirmed. I mean, did they not? They didn't not confirm it. I mean, they didn't not confirm it. So, I mean, hey, there you go. Fuck character transfers? Yeah, of course. I don't know, actually. Server transfers are not... I mean, they were in the current game. Or, sorry, they were in Vanilla WoW. If they were in Vanilla WoW, I think they should be in Classic. Like, that's the only... Like, logically, that's the only conclusion that I can come to. Yeah, don't give them any fucking ideas. Yeah, I mean, and I believe, if I remember right, the server transfer cooldown was like 90 days, wasn't it? Wasn't it 90 days? Or was I wrong about that? Yeah. So, I remember this very, very clearly. It was 90 days, yeah. I actually had a dream. This sounds really sad. I had a dream that I transferred servers and I wasn't able to play with my friends for 3 months. In Vanilla, it was like Burning Crusade. I was literally so sad whenever I woke up from that dream. I still remember it to this day. I felt like isolated. I felt alone. Felt terrible. Yeah, it was sad. I had a dream that I had friends. I have a lot of friends in WoW and in real life. I'm very lucky. But unfortunately, you know, if I transferred servers, I would have been kind of left out to a lot of things. How the Classic add-ons works. You have too much faith in Blizzard. If a ton of people from retail move to Classic, which doesn't have microtransactions, their amount of customers will decrease and they'll want to fix it. Well, yeah, but I mean, like, that's not the only way to fix it. Like, making more microtransactions isn't going to get people to continue playing the game. So it wouldn't make sense for them to... if Classic WoW is doing well, and it has a different monetization structure than current WoW, then I don't think that they're going to shoot themselves in the foot and monetize Classic WoW and alienate the people that are playing the game. It's not worth it to them, I believe. And then also, tons of people will quit. There'll be tons of negativity. It'll be just like the current game. And so I don't think that they would take that risk. Hopefully I'm right, but maybe I'm wrong. I don't think that I will be wrong, though. My friends are splitting up on different realms. All of my boys are all playing on the same realm. I'm really excited for that, man. It's going to be fucking amazing. I'm really fucking excited. But Bobby Kotick, well, here's the thing, right? Blizzard doesn't think like that, using logic. Blizzard makes horrible mistakes because of greed all the time. Yes and no. And also, like, yes and no. I don't think that they will do it with Classic WoW, because the expectations for the game are already so clearly defined. But maybe I'm wrong. I hope that I'm not wrong, but I would not expect to see a store or anything like that coming out of Classic WoW. All right, let's go with the rest of these. Core pillars create their original experience. Okay, so this is really, really, really important. So let's talk about this Gates of AQ question. I actually want to look and see what the responses to this are. Okay, so let's see. This is one of those times that I think it'd be detrimental. People will stockpile ahead of time, finish the event within hours, and deny the involvement of the majority of players, especially if the resource count required stays the same due to the increased populations. This is the concern that I have. So here's where I'm at, okay? So let's look at, let's say you need 10,000 rune cloth, for example. And 10,000 rune cloth was the expected amount that you would have to turn in a vanilla WoW server. Well, what happens whenever this new vanilla WoW server, this classic vanilla WoW server, has, instead of 3,000 people, it has 30,000 people? Well, it's a completely different world then, because the amount of rune cloth that's going to be in the economy and in the game is going to be multiplied by 10. So if you have 10 times more people, and you have a time-sensitive event like this, it's based off of contributions, which are individually based, and the amount of people that are able to contribute is based off of the population on the server. You know what I think they should do? Here's what I think they should do. They should make it like this. If they want to have these mega servers, and they will be mega servers, let's not kid ourselves here. I mean, these are going to be massive servers. Blizzard has already said that they're going to be massive servers. What if they did something like this? What if they looked at, for every, like, let's say 3,000 people, the AQ war effort would be like 10,000 rune cloth. So if you had, let's say, 9,000 people, it would be 30,000 rune cloth, for example. So it would just scale up based off of the population. Would you want a scaling AQ effort like that? National Star Service of breaking are 60 people in one spot. 60 people? You mean 3 people? What about scareboard quantity? Yeah, I actually, you guys would like that? If they have the mega servers, because I feel like the anticipation of the AQ opening gate event is so important. Like the anticipation, like the day that you know, it's like, oh, we are this close. This dude has scareboard. He's got the whole quest done. He's going to bang that fucking gong. Everybody is going to be ready for that fucking event. Like, that event is going to be probably the biggest event in the history of WoW. Like the scareboard event. 100%, man. It is going to be fucking massive. Insane. And they should change the items, which can be collected, make them drop, even needing. What can stockpile and they can't stockpile? Well, they're not changing the items. They're just changing the quantity of the items. I think being able to stockpile, like, I don't like the idea of being able to stockpile. I think stockpiling items for the AQ war effort is really boring, and I think it sucks. But I also don't think they should make it impossible to do that. How about using straight time gate instead of turn-ins? No, I don't like the idea of a time gate. Retail WoW has time gates. I don't want a time gate in Classic WoW. I want a straight up fucking a huge number that you have to accomplish. And because the thing with the AQ war effort, like, you look at, like, what really is the AQ war effort? What is it supposed to symbolize? It is supposed to symbolize the Horde and Alliance contributing enough resources to go to war with the Courage Empire. I don't know how to say it, with the Courage Empire, right? The Mantid, or not Mantid, the Bug Empire, basically. And if they are actually building up enough resources to go to war with this gigantic empire of these bugs that are supposed to be locked away from the old gods, then I think that they should have, that shouldn't be a time gate. Hunter Traps, Onyxia, Manrik's wife, leashing, and Kazak. Kazak has a hard leash in 1.12, but there are other bosses in the world that do not. I wonder what those bosses are. I wonder. Warriors best in 1v1? Rogue's best in 3v1. Yeah, because they can vanish and run away. How are you going to handle world buffs? I can tackle the question related to world buffs. World buffs are going to function exactly as they did in 1.12, which is to say they will remain available and will not be restricted whenever new phases are rolled out. Rallying Cry of the Dragon Slayer will have a cooldown. You will need to wait for the current Onyxia or Nefarian head to despawn before being able to regain the buff for a new turn-in. Great. I think that really the question that this person is actually asking is, will the world buffs be usable in raids? And I think that it's just assumed. Launch, pre-launch restarts, Q times 2. It's just Q times launch time experience. What steps are being taken to ensure that the launch, same thing doesn't happen on an even grander scale than the initial rush? They're going to do stuff, who cares? Introducing realms number 2. Taking various things into consideration while to hold true to their main objective of ensuring healthy realm communities for a post-launch world. Therefore, we felt that the best approach here was to start off with fewer realms in order to gauge player interest during the name reservation period. Okay, so then they actually were taking the exact same approach that I thought they were going to do. That's good. Okay, what does... Oh, this is a really good question. What does success look like for the classic WoW dev team? Success for us is that players enjoy the game. We hope that those who played back in the day are overcome with nostalgia, great memories, and reconnect with old friends. I hope that new players get to experience this iconic time in MMO history and experience the world with new friends. Yeah. True. True, dude. During the development of Classic, did you stumble over any Easter eggs or secrets that the community never discovered? When we were going through the original source code, we uncovered a few inline developer comments. It was super interesting to read them, like messages from the past. One of the most colorful comments I enjoyed was in reference to adding spells. Whatever you do, don't get them wet. While creating Classic, was there anything specific your team thought was going to be incredibly hard to accomplish and turned out to be a lot easier than expected? Let's see. I can't say there was anything. So I can't say there was anything incredibly hard. There it is, dude. Big Dick Blizzard devs, that's right. Process mainly involved constant iteration during the Classic 1.12 reference. We went through some of the old code. Did you find any work that really stood out that you couldn't believe they achieved that back in 2006? I just found an old code that stood out because I wrote it in 2005. Holy shit, man. Okay, let's see. What was the hardest thing to recreate? Hunters. They were one of the most complicated classes in vanilla, and we had to do a huge amount of work in restoring them. So you heard it, boys. Play Hunters. Yeah, play Hunters right there. Obviously, Hunters are the hardest class to play because they're very complicated. Yeah, that's the big Hunter brain. Are there still more people, more questions being answered? Because if so, like, that's a huge amount. Oh, here we go. Hunter and Warlock pets take an absurd amount of time to respond to commands. Can you please acknowledge it and tell us when it will be fixed? We fixed several bugs with pet commands throughout WoW Classic Beta, thanks to a ton of super detailed reports in the beta and stress tests. As several posters have pointed out, we've resolved many of the issues with pet responsiveness already, and I can confirm that several recent bug fixes have brought Hunter and Warlock pet responsiveness in line with their behavior in the reference client. Great. Fucking great. Awesome. I'm happy. That's great. Yeah, awesome. I'm very happy about that. Nothing wrong with, yeah, Nexus is not going to aggro as many mobs. There you go. Okay, just give me 1 second here. I'll read all the rest of these. Okay, looking back at legacy code can be daunting. Did any of you run into a code that you wrote all those years ago? Yeah, I think a lot of these guys probably did. I'm not surprised. Okay, just give me 1 second.